G'day! If you want to support the show, make sure to leave a tip or share it to your friends. I'm back, baby! And this time with a pair of glasses I don't even need. Okay, before we get into anything, I just need you to remember I am not a, business guru. I'm just a designer. All these business owners are making my life hard. Anyways, I, the viewer, will take the following as philosophical advice. Please sign here. Signed by the viewer. Thank you very much. All right, moving on. I've brought you here today to the BBL Factory. Buzziness. Pretend that's an N. Ding. And logo. So that you, my dear traveler, can get a spoonful of creative juice and level up. When you are starting a business, you should be designing your business. And when you design your business, you need to be thinking, that's a brain, like a graphic designer. And what is graphic design? Say it with me now. Graphic design is the process of positioning elements in a way that conveys a message. And what is that message, ladies and gentlemen? Marketing. So don't let your business be unmarketable. Instead, design your business like a graphic designer would. Hey! Yeah! Many designers are given the challenge of creating designs for businesses that are hard to create for. I mean, if you can pull it off, that's fantastic, but a lot of the times it's really hard to pull off a design for a hard business to create for. Obviously. The number one reason why a lot of businesses are hard to create for is because they treat it like it's a checkbox and not part of a strategy. Like, huh? How do you expect your business to succeed if you don't have a visually appealing, memorable, and accurate representation of your business? It's the most important part. When developing your business, you need to design it with your target customer in mind. And I'm not just talking like make a customer profile, like a character template like hair color, personality. No, wrong. This isn't Wattpad, guys. All right, let's just get that out of the way. I need to stop preemptively underlining things. I need to underline them to make my statement. When we're looking at our target customer, we need to be thinking about how they feel before, while, and after, because you need to give them a reason to keep choosing you. Tention. Okay, don't tell them why you deserve their attention. This is wrong. Don't do that. We want to tell them why they should choose you. So what happens when we come at things with a strong customer focus? We then have a business that supports people and people that support the business. This is not the same as creating a problem, charging people to fix it, and I don't really know what the outcome is. That doesn't make sense. Development. Pretend like I actually wrote all the letters in that word. So when we look at our little happy customer, let's name this guy David. Don't know why. This is David. When it comes to brand development, we need to be including all of this all together in a nice little package. What you represent, why you represent it, and how you represent it. That how is actually your visual identity. There is some really weird thing that happens in our brain. This looks crazy, actually. So your visual identity and your visual branding are two different things that work together. Your identity is your personality, and your branding, which has to represent all the different facets of your business, is how your business is perceived. So your visual branding is derived from interaction, which is how people see and feel when they see your fonts, your logos, This all comes back to perception. This is why we have, designs that come across as very luxurious in the way that they have quite minimalistic fonts, minimalistic colors. Branding pretty much tells people how to perceive you, if that makes sense. There are millions of, not millions, I think there's like only 12 design elements, right? Principals. Is it principals or principales? Your personality comes with the design principles, which is how you use those elements. Does this make sense? I hope this is making sense. And again, you signed the waiver, so you can't sue me. So your business branding is successful if your target customer or people in general can identify your business or understand your business at first glance. Your customer shouldn't have to read any information to understand your business. See this word, identify? How are they going to identify without reading anything? Through visual cues. And what does that visual cue do? Or I don't know how to word this. The visual comes from your business branding. So, what's even better is if you can create a memorable brand identity using a combination of elements specific to your business. You can alter the way that they make the viewer feel by changing up the ratios, layering different things, and using psychology. This is why colors and shape language is so important. Did you know that there's also such thing as illegal colors? Coming up in the next video. Do you know what else is illegal? Having a business name that sucks. Dare I say, your name is part of your branding. It's important to think about how your business name looks, because our customer is always watching. Thank you, David. The reason why is because typically that name is used as a word mark or as a website address. So your business name needs to be just as memorable as everything else, and it needs to tie in everything that your business represents. So your name has to represent a lot. Look at Nike, for example, right? Or Nike, however you want to say it. They've got their swoosh, but they also have it as a combination. They also just have the word mark. You can identify who they are with just the word mark, or you can identify who they are with just the logo. And if for some reason you've been living under a rock, you can learn about them in instances where it's together. I don't know why he would have a name that long, but let's just say for this example, Mr. David has a flower and candy shop. This is a really long name. The two instances here, you could stack it this way, or you could write it out long ways. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would never go that long. That's crazy. Also, this type of name really limits you to only being able to sell flour and candy. Pick something that better represents what your business is. Ideally, you wouldn't pick this because this is so small, it's not very scalable, right? It's too tiny. It has to be functional. You can see here this issue. Someone has to sit there and type in Mr. David Flower and candyshop.com, heaven forbid.au. Look how long that is. I would suggest, is that how you spell delight? Super quick, easy to type in. This also ties into your, I just came up with a really great business name. Does that exist? You've got the flowers part in there, and delight could be referencing the candy. That's pretty cool. When you create meaning, you create a brand identity, aka you show your personality. So with that personality, it becomes so much easier to create a visual brand identity. One of the benefits is that it allows your business to expand beyond just selling candy and flowers. It also is easily translatable to visual elements. So when I say it's easy to translate to visual elements, thinking about how it is long ways, we can also see these shapes are fairly similar. So we could stack them. We could also have a smaller one, larger one underneath. I don't know what it could be. What could we make it? So let's just say that this is our logo, right? So not only does this look cute for instances where you need to have a narrower logo. Look at that. Now that is a good logo because you could have this all together. You could have this just on the front there like we did before. You can have it like this, or you can have just by itself. These are all the reasons why this is a great logo. It took me 5 seconds to make. I've done no research whatsoever. I like to either pick something that fits in a rectangle, something that fits in a square, or something that fits in a triangle. If we have a square or a circular logo, we can have square text, rectangular, or we could have triangular text. And this helps everything feel very balanced and cohesive. This is an exception because it follows the rule of thirds, roughly. I always like to have logo and then name. This is because when we're reading things, we're seeing them from top to bottom or from left to right. In Japan, for example, I would assume, as a stupid, silly Westerner, right? I would assume that they would have their logo here because naturally people read from right to left. The reason that I would say your logo first and then your name second is because you want the person to remember first your logo. When Nike started out, Nike would have always had both together. But now that we have come to remember this logo, it can just be the tick. This provides context. Does that make sense? So with the floristry thing, the flowers delights, we don't know what the heck that's meant to be. I can't spell. That's why we've got this. Going back to the URL thing. I'm going to write out a website address and I need you to tell me what's wrong with it, okay? This entire section looks like one section. That's because these taller letters provide a break for our eyes. We can look at this like boxes. So we don't see that there's actually supposed to be a gap here and there's actually supposed to be a gap here. Okay, this obviously doesn't make sense. It's made up. This is an eyesore. This hurts to read. Our eyes don't know where to start and stop when we're reading this. Double S here, we've got double T here. Doesn't make sense. Sail swear. Huh? Oh, sail elsewhere. I can just barely get away with this here because this J goes down and provides a separation. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Try and find words that go together that separate the words. So I can clearly see, okay, that's one word, that's the next word. Now remember what I said about representation. A logo has to represent a lot. That's what a logo has to represent. Because the logo has to represent so much, you should be designing your logo last. This gives you enough time to figure out who you are, what you represent, why you represent that, and how you're going to represent that. Developing your business gives you more insight into the branding. Developing the branding gives you more insight into designing the logo. Without this, you don't have this, and you don't get this. That's why your logo, which has to represent so much, should be done last because you have the strategic insight to make good design decisions. So when you look at my logo and you think, oh, goodness me, that looks like trash, That's because it does. My original logo was like this, but then I wanted to have, like a little market cart thing going on. And then I was like, well, I want to put my name in there. And so that was my logo. That was my planning for my logo. This is not a good logo. I failed because I didn't know who or what my business was about. I had not established direction. When you have no time, you are not able to come up with strategic design. Strong strategy equals great design, and great design equals great communication. And great communication is the whole point of graphic design. So, to get a fat BBL, you need to make it easy for your audience to tell who and what your business does, easy for people to choose you over everyone else, and how easy it is for them to remember you. Without this harmonious relationship, that is when the business becomes the bad guy. A business is only ever successful when it's sustainable. With that said, rebranding is stupid, but I need to do it anyway. You know how I have the little house thing? That would be the door. I mean, the door's over here, but I could do that as well so that it looks a little stupid. Alright, how should I redesign my logo? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!